Hey there, friends. Remember I put a video out last week, talked about the various times so far that there have been assassination attempts on Donald Trump, and the fact that the federal government even acknowledged that there were assassination teams within the United States. I believe 5 they were saying. Either 2 were foreign and 3 were domestic, or the opposite of that. So it looks like we've got even more proof to corroborate that. Not sure if you're going to call this one foreign or domestic, because let's face it, guys, the United States government might be involved in this one.
J.M. Phelps reports that Trump's plane has been targeted for an assassination attempt. 9 surface-to-air missiles were smuggled into the U.S. Let's talk about it. Recent X posts have indicated that 9 surface-to-air missiles have entered the U.S. through a New Mexico border point of entry. 2 independent sources have provided corroborating reporting to our team, stating that 9 surface-to-air missiles have entered the U.S. through a New Mexico border point of entry. The intended recipients of these weapons are 3 teams operating within the U.S., whose intended target is Donald Trump. Now, urgent. According to an informant in New Mexico, Trump's plane is the next target for an assassination. 9 heat-seeking surface-to-air missiles have been smuggled into the U.S. for this purpose, and there are 3 kill teams already inside the country. Trump has been informed, so have others, according to Laura Logan. Now, the Gateway Pundit spoke to Dr. Pete Chambers, a former Army lieutenant colonel and Green Beret, who first went public with the story and has devoted years of his life to protecting the southern border. On the evening of September 22nd, he received a report from a confidential informant. The next morning, Chambers said a second informant corroborated this report with a colleague close to Chambers by the name of Basil Baz. Now, as the founder of the Association for the Recovery of Children, the former CIA Intelligence Special Operations Group paramilitary case officer primarily fights against child sex trafficking at the southern border. Now, according to Chambers, this is absolutely insane. One informant was outside the United States while the other was within. Informants had received information that 9 surface-to-air missiles known as SAMs had crossed into the United States via a point of entry, a POE. Now, both Chambers and Baz were told specifically that these were Mizag 3 missiles of Persian origin. However, Chambers said that despite their origin, he said it's not necessarily indicative of Iranian involvement until proven otherwise. In fact, one informant asserted it's not them. Even though Iran often threatens revenge for the 2020 killing of Commander Qasem Soleimani that was ordered by then-President Donald Trump. Regardless of the potential for Iranian involvement, Chambers said that there is credible evidence that there are 3 three-man teams of non-Persian origin inside the United States. And he also disclosed that a second tranche of information identified former President Donald Trump's airplane as the target. Now, the shoulder-fired missile system is typically used for low and slow target, like a plane or a helicopter taking off or landing. The former Green Beret explained, adding that he cannot understand how 9 of the missile systems could make it across the border.
Okay, that last comment about the Green Beret not understanding how 9 of these missile systems could have made it across the border. I have a few ideas. Whenever the people protecting the border are looking the other way, or better yet, helping you come across the border, sometimes that might be why. You lend a hand to a friend, right? Remember how Texas tried to secure their own border of the United States and Texas, and the federal government swooped in there whenever they were laying razor wire and promptly removed the razor wire and raised it, in this case, out of the way so illegal, unvetted aliens could waltz across the border. Guys, this is the Biden-Harris administration. This came from the border czar to allow these people in when we were trying to keep, get this, I don't use this word lightly, illegal aliens from crossing the border. Nobody has a problem with legal immigration. No one does. Come into this country legally, assimilate, welcome to America. But the federal government, including Kamala Harris, who is lying to the dummies out there who would believe she gives a rip about the government, again, this is her people letting illegal aliens into the country. So let's not act so surprised whenever we wonder, first of all, how'd they get here? Second, how'd they get their stuff here? 9 SAMs, 9 surface-to-air missiles. We saw already a few weeks ago where Trump's airplane had to make an emergency landing. We've seen 2 assassination attempts against Donald Trump. Federal government has acknowledged these kill teams or assassination teams already within the United States border. Honestly, guys, this is simply my opinion. And I welcome your input. Love to see your comments down below. But my opinion is that this is not just something that we have to deal with for the next 80-something days or however long, 60-something, till November 5th. This is not all we have to worry about them taking Donald Trump out. Donald Trump has exposed these people from the tip of the top to the bottom of the bottom. And they're all afraid of losing their corrupt little schemes that they have out there. They're all afraid of their backroom handshake deals that they've all gotten something out of. They're all afraid that their little child trafficking schemes are going to get exposed. They're all afraid that the money they've been receiving to look the other way while all this illegal activity takes place is going to get exposed and that it's going to go away. This is many of these corrupt politicians' retirement that we're dealing with. You wonder why they're okay with it. Guys, they are making a lot of money off of this stuff. And if they can remain in power by letting illegals come in and vote illegally, there will never be any other party in power. So these people will indefinitely remain in power. That's why this is such a big deal to them. They are willing to sacrifice their own family members, their own friends along the border to get their piece of that pie. My point is that Trump does not have just until November 5th to make it, to get reelected or to get elected, and then suddenly he's in the clear. No, he's not in the clear. They will see, especially. Now, there's a chance right now Kamala wins, right? I mean, there's a statistical chance that she could win. So they may not be trying as hard right now. If he gets elected, then they are guaranteed that he's going to be in office. These attacks on him will likely ramp up if he's elected. So between November 1st and January 20th of 25, we're likely to see much worse than that. And of course, once he gets in office, this is what I worry about. And for those of you that think some assassin is sitting out there watching my video and going, oh, you just gave them an idea. Trust me, they ain't watching my videos for ideas. Their evil minds work way ahead of mine as far as evil plans. This is what I'm worried about, guys. And I truly am worried about this. I'm worried about Donald Trump's family. Because the man is already dodging attacks on his own life. And that does not seem to deter him, right? I do believe he loves his family. I truly believe he loves his family. I believe he loves his wife. I believe he loves his sons, his daughters, his grandkids. He's shown that. It would be easy for him to walk away because he doesn't need this. He doesn't need the money. He doesn't need the power. He's already got that. I've always said he didn't need to run this time because he still could have controlled everything from the sideline, but he decided to run anyway. If they start to mess with his family, I worry about what would happen. Because at this point, it's too late in the game for somebody else to get thrust in there and do the things that need to be done that I feel like Donald Trump's people would be able to do. Maybe they could still accomplish all that, but who gets elected? Who runs, right? So this is really rough. And if his family begins to get targeted, I fear that we might see another side of Donald Trump where he says, you know what, F it. This ain't worth it. You know, what if somebody takes a warning shot at his son? I saw just scrolling through a while ago, I'm not going to say where because I don't want to help these people, but I saw where his son is living right now, his youngest son, Barron. They mentioned that he and a friend are living somewhere else, and I'm thinking to myself, I hope he's got protection, man, because surely these people see just what I saw, that they see that Donald Trump is undeterred by the attacks on his life. And now I think they may say, you know what, what's plan B? And I fear that that is plan B. So I certainly say prayers for his family. I hope everything is okay with them. I hope they have adequate protection. I hope to God they don't have government-funded protection. I hope to God it's not the Secret Service. Please let them have purchased and paid for the best possible protection out there, because whatever, he could find somebody in the phone book that's going to provide him better security than what he's received so far from the Secret Service. So hopefully he has already enlisted the help of some true professionals and not these hacks that are spending our tax-paying dollars and almost getting this man killed. In closing, guys, I'd like to mention one thing. They keep mentioning Iran. This ain't Iran. This ain't Iran. Iran is being used right now, all these potential threats coming from Iran. I realize Iran would love to have Donald Trump go away. These threats and these potential attacks are not coming from Iran. This is their Gulf of Tonkin. If you don't know what the Gulf of Tonkin is, that the lie that dragged us into the Vietnam War, look it up. Interesting. This is the same thing. This is, call them who you want, whatever three-letter agency, throw it at a dartboard, it doesn't matter. This is their way of finding a legitimate enemy that truly does hate Trump and trying to pin all this on them, giving themselves cover. That way, if they initiate something, they can easily go, remember Iran? Iran did this. This ain't Iran.
I don't understand the point that you're making.
God save the Queen, man.
I'm sorry, I thought this was America. He's over.